You are listening to Radio Long Island City, recorded at our studios near Hell Gate, 9 kilometers north of the Harbor Hill Moraine. And now, the Observatory. The Observatory, Thursday the 9th of April, 2026. It is 20 days before the spring equinox. It is 73 days before the summer solstice. The festival of Passover concludes tonight at sundown. By the Orthodox Christian calendar, today is Holy Thursday. Today we discontinue the count of days in the Iran and Lebanon war, not because the conflict has ended, but because it has entered a new and more complex phase. Remember all who suffer from wars around the globe today. The sun rises today at 6:26 a.m. Solar noon takes place today at 12:57 p.m. The sun sets today at 7:29 p.m., civil twilight ends at 7:57 p.m., and nautical twilight ends at 8:31 p.m. The length of daytime today is 2 minutes 38 seconds longer than yesterday. The moon is in its waning gibbous phase and is 55% full at midday. The moon rises today at 2:14 a.m. The moon sets today at 11 a.m. The third quarter will arrive tomorrow. These are the predicted tides today for Horns Hook. In the wee hours, high tide, 3:46 a.m., 1 meter 31. In the morning, low tide, 10:10 a.m., 12 centimeters. In the afternoon, high tide, 4:22 p.m., 1 meter 16. At night, low tide, 10:28 p.m., 27 centimeters. In our shared realm of plants and animals, as the trees flower and leaf out, and the euonymus bushes are covered with bright new growth, what's happening underfoot? In the parks, the lawns have turned bright green and lost the brown and blasted look of winter. Some tufts of grass have grown tall enough to give domestic dogs something to munch on during their walks, and everywhere clover has emerged in green new carpets. Broadleaf plantains have also come up in the lawns. They are often regarded as weeds, but they have medicinal properties and are often crushed and rubbed on bug bites and stings to soothe the wounds. Introduced from Eurasia, they spread with European settlers in this continent. Native Americans called them white man's footprint. Commemorations. On this day in 1667, the first Paris Salon opened to the public. The art exhibition was sponsored by the Académie des Beaux-Arts, and until the end of the 19th century was one of the most important venues for painters and sculptors to show their work in France. The modernists eventually put an end to its dominance. The first salon took place during the reign of Louis XIV, and was held at the Palais Royal in Paris. A momentous anniversary. On this day in 1865, General Robert E. Lee and his 26,000 Confederate troops surrendered to Lieutenant General Ulysses S. Grant at Appomattox Courthouse in Virginia. It effectively brought the Civil War to an end, although it would take until August 20, 1866, for President Andrew Johnson to officially declare the insurrection had ended. Some baseball milestones. On this day in 1912, Fenway Park in Boston opened. The first game was an exhibition baseball game. The Red Sox beat the Harvard squad 2-0. Fenway remains the oldest active park in baseball, and its location in a dense neighborhood means it has many quirky features, including the triangle, Pesky's pole, and the green monster in left field. On this day a year later, in 1913, the first regular season game was played at Ebbets Field in Brooklyn. The Brooklyn Dodgers, then known as the Superbas, hosted the Philadelphia Phillies and lost 1-0. Ebbets Field was also home to the Negro League's Brooklyn Eagles. And on this day in 1962, President John F. Kennedy threw out the first pitch at the new D.C. Stadium. It was the first baseball game played at what we now know as RFK Stadium, which had opened with football on October 1st the year before. On this day, the Washington Senators defeated the Detroit Tigers 4-1. Today we remember Paul Robeson, born this day in 1898 in Princeton, New Jersey. Robeson was a talented college athlete, playing football for Rutgers, where he was the only black student at the time. He then went to Columbia for law school. But it was his deep baritone voice and his acting that brought him fame. Who can forget his rendition of Old Man River? Through his life he was active in politics and fought for decolonization and equal rights. His alignment with communism resulted in his being blacklisted in the 1950s. And though we may not agree with the allies he chose, he never wavered in his commitment to justice. Remember Paul Robeson today. Today we wish a happy birthday to Lil Nas X, born this day in Atlanta, Georgia. He splashed onto the scene with his single Old Town Road, and his fashion sense has added an element of glam to traditional cowboy gear. Happy birthday, Lil Nas X. Alternate side of the street parking is suspended today in New York City for the last day of Passover and Orthodox Holy Thursday. And that is the Observatory, Thursday the 9th of April, 2026.